Notre Dame College Prep Athletic Club. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with our introductions and our opening prayer with Coach Hennessy, and then we'll do introductions.
Okay. All right. Let's begin with the prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Amen.
Notre Dame, pray for us.
Pray for all of us.
Thank you, Coach. All right, so again, our introductions to the Notre Dame Athletic Department is Mike Hennessy, our athletic director and leader of all things. Mike Brokenshire is the assistant athletic director and the assistant leader of all things. And then Judy Byrne, who is the knower of all things. Myself, I am Jessica Bakulis. I am the athletic club president. Kelly Spanos is the vice president, and Peggy Papachristodoulou is our trusty and wonderful keeper of all things, our secretary.
Thank you.
Right.
Welcome, everyone.
All right. Our agenda for tonight, with our IHSA coordinator update, we'll do a coach's corner if any of the coaches want to speak. We'll do a treasurer's report. We'll talk about some fundraising and some funds requested. Go into some new business and some updates from the other clubs, and have time for questions and comments. All right, start with Coach Hennessy.
Okie dokie. All right. Good evening. Thanks for being with us here. It's a time where there's still a number of different issues and questions that aren't really answered by the IHSA, and realistically, it's more so the Illinois Department of Public Health and the governor that we're dealing with. If the IHSA had their druthers, we would probably be playing. At least that's what they tell us when we meet. We had a athletic directors meeting just on Monday, and there was over 500 athletic directors across the state that were on it. And Craig Anderson, who was in charge of the IHSA, was there, but and he had some answers, but not a lot. The biggest thing that's happened along with the IHSA and our sports programs is that we have moved into tier 2, which gives us the flexibility to have a few more boys gathered together. We're still not sure of the number, which is, again, just kind of one of those spots that just kind of shows I don't know whether it's people being indecisive or inaccurate about things. Most of the time, we're supposed to be in small groups of 10. The tier 2, one of the things that came out said we could jump into groups of 25, and those are indoor. If you're outdoor, you can be in groups of 50. Snow and the cold's kind of holding people back, though. People have been outside doing some workouts, hockey and football, and a couple of the other sports have been outside, and so we've gotten some things done. So we are waiting for a definitive answer on how many boys we can have in the gym, or how many boys total we can have in the weight room to be working out. So we are doing those things right now. We're just not sure the exact number. So we are staying on the low end, trying to be safe with things, with 10 in each weight room and maybe 10 on the floor when they're working, and seeing where that goes. There is a possibility, that's speculation. It was on the news yesterday. I don't know that anything got in the news today except the new president and vice president dominating the scene. But there may be a move to tier 1, which at least lets us go out and eat after we practice, if nothing else. But we'll see. I don't know that does anything more for our programs at this point in time. We can start to practice swimming, and I think I saw the names. I think Patrick Graham was on, and I don't know if Patrick would have a question, wants to talk about that. And we can start bowling. Those are the 2 sports that by tier 2 regulations we can begin. We have talked with the swimming pool that we planned, but we did use for 2 days in November. And we are trying to reset up a schedule. And the gentleman at the bowling alley is just waiting for us with open arms to come. And I think Coach Gale is going to start some stuff up on Friday with the boys. We are hoping that either by the weekend or early next week that the IHSA, in conjunction with the Illinois Department of Public Health, will give us some sort of scheduled dates as to other sports that might be able to begin. I know I'm going a little bit long here, and if there's a question while I'm talking here, please stop me in my tracks and let me know. But way back when they set up a schedule of when sports were supposed to go on in a winter and spring and summer schedule. That schedule is probably up in the air and up for revision. We have no idea what the revision is going to be. And as of Monday, when we talked with the executive director of the IHSA, they didn't either, because they were kind of caught off guard by the governor's switch from tier 3 to tier 2, which was good, but they didn't anticipate that to happen. So we are kind of, in limbo and waiting for things to give it proper direction. Next week, Monday, the 25th, we will have the capability of having contact days for sports similar to what we did in the fall.
So would that be volleyball?
That would be, well, what we're looking at is the possibility of there would be 7 sports that would probably be involved in this, which would be, I'll make sure I got my fingers all set here, baseball and basketball, football and lacrosse and track and volleyball, and there's one I'm missing. Wrestling would be one, but they have their own facility, and soccer, I'm sorry. So those 7 sports were involved with things that we did in the fall, and we tried to set up a schedule where a couple sports would practice every day. I've sent some information out to the coaches already about that. We're going to try to coordinate some things in the next day or two and see if we can set up some schedules. And obviously the big problem until we get that field house is that we only have one area, the gym, that can be used for practices. So having that one place is kind of difficult. It was very easy in the fall, having the baseball fields and stadium open and everything like that. So it's going to be tough coordinating some things, but that's what we are going to attempt to do in the next 2 days as I meet and talk with the coaches. So it's good news. It's news that we are still waiting for more definition about and more guidelines. I'll pause for a minute. And if there's any kind of questions that you'd have about that, please fire away. I'll turn it back to Jessica.
Is there now a possibility of the sports overlapping?
The question was there a possibility of sports overlapping? My answer to that is that yes, there could be, depending upon what the IHSA does decide to do. We have heard numbers of different rumors. I may have said these things at the last meeting, that probably bears repeating. There is a hope that all of the sports would have a certain number of weeks to perform and practice and play, and that would give everybody the opportunity to have their season. There is another direction that could be held, that if we don't get to a point of getting everybody in, that definitely the spring sports from last year that had everything canceled are probably first and foremost to be put in place. Now, again, those are things that are being told to us. There is no set schedule. There are no set dates for any of the sports to start except for bowling and for swimming. They can start to practice. They do not have a schedule. They do not have a date set for competition. So again, my answer to the question is that yes, it could. The athletic directors in a straw poll voted 80% against the idea of having sports being clipped together, like having basketball and football at the same time, or volleyball and basketball at the same time. They wanted to keep the sports in their separate, distinct areas if possible. So that's where we're at.
We did get a notice this weekend that like was it Junior Volleyball Association pushed the January tournament all the way out to the end of April. So again, they might cancel nationals is what it looks like.
Okay. Yeah. No, they've already canceled any hockey playoffs or championships, even though hockey is outside of the IHSA. They are kind of following some of the things. They're directed by a group called AHI, but they are part of our 16 sports segment. And they have had their championships and things canceled, where if any sports do have play in competition this year, it is widely speculated that there will be no state championships. There might be playoffs, and it all depends upon how crushed this calendar gets. And as you know, the more we wait on this, the tighter it's going to be.
Yep.
But there is an opening there to have contact days. There is an opening that the governor has moved things off of the tier level, and we are patiently waiting and hopeful for what's going to transpire in the next week or two. Any other questions?
I have one more, but I don't know if there's an answer to this one either. Is there any talk of any play in the summer, like after school is over?
Well, what potentially could happen is if the IHSA did designate a summer period, and that was way back at the beginning of the school year, the summer period would start at the beginning or middle of May and would go through the end of June. At that time, they stated that that would take care of baseball, volleyball, track, tennis. The normal spring sports would be pushed 1 month later. But again, that was stipulated back in September and August, and will be redesignated. I don't think that they would go much past the end of June. Boys would be out of town going to colleges. It'd be very hard for seniors to play. A lot of the boys play travel sports, travel teams with a lot of different sports like volleyball and baseball and a number of others. So it would be very conflicting. What the IHSA has said, though, is that boys can play both. They can play their club. They can play their school, which is a definite movement away from the rules that they have, because they recognize that they are holding people back, but clubs are playing.
Can I ask one quick question?
Sure.
I know you said this, but I don't remember what the answer was. When do you think they're going to have another meeting when we'll know more information?
There is another IHSA meeting on Wednesday, January 27th.
Okay.
We're fortunate that our principal is in on those executive meetings. And we also have an alumnus who's the athletic director at New Trier, who played football for me. He's also on there. And so we got two good voices that are trying to open up their ears, but that's the next IHSA meeting.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Coach.
Coach. Okay, so we'll move on to our next item, which is the Coaches Corner. Do we have any coaches that want to give any, or do we want to just consider that our Coaches Corner for tonight?
Yeah, that was quite a mouthful. I don't know. Mike Brokenshire's here. Michael, you want to say hi?
What's up, everybody? You covered it all, Coach. You're good.
Mike's just getting off his Zoom classroom assignments.
Yeah, my head's spinning from this first week. So
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out there. If we can run or do anything, that'd be great. But I'm on standby right now. So.
And I don't know if Patrick Graham is on. I know I can
Yeah.
see.
Hey, Coach. Good evening, everyone. We're excited to get back in the pool and excited to hear what the pool schedule will look like. When we parted ways back in November, I think we had 14 to 16 swimmers, and we're excited to see the group come back together and begin to practice. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, we hope to be able to get that done as soon as possible. Again, we're waiting for the Glenview Park District to get back to us. They were very good in getting some things set up. Boys had a couple great enjoyable days, and I'm hoping that this will be the first step of many here for our program. So
Thanks, coaches. Appreciate it. All right. So we're gonna have Coach speak a little more.
Nope.
Poor guy. Get a glass of water, Coach.
no, that's all right. No, we're good. Well, with the treasurer's report, we talked before about we had a great fundraiser with our Giving Tuesday back in December, and right now we're almost at a point where we have 3 full pools signed up for this coming weekend's football game, which has been a tremendous thing. We've had some great work done by Jessica and Frank Grillo and Jeff Laporte and Jessica Grillo and a number of other people. And of course, my boss, I can never forget to make sure I say her, embarrass her. But it looks really good. The numbers have been picked for 2 of the squares. I think last I looked, there were about 30 left for that. So we're in very good shape. We probably have some other things that I can talk to you about maybe what we want to do with some of that money down the road. But right now we're in very good shape with probably over about $30,000 to $40,000 to be able to use.
So really quick, Jessica, there's still squares available because I had some people asking me.
Yes. So if you go online tonight, there's still, I think Coach just said there's about 30 left. So this is our third board.
On the Notre Dame website?
On the Notre Dame. So ndons.org/squares.
Okay.
And there's about 30 left. This is the third board, so we'll be able to pay out.
Jess, who's talking? I can send them the email with the link.
Frank Salvage.
Oh, Frank.
And somebody just put it in the chat.
Yeah, I just put the link in the chat.
Perfect.
Oh,
Thank you,
okay.
guys.
Jessica, is this a link that can be shared out with family members, or
Sure.
would you prefer that
Oh,
we take the
Share it
money
out.
from? We can. Okay.
Anybody can
I didn't
play.
know because I'm new. So, okay.
Oh, no, please let everybody play.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Coach, for that. And then again, so this is the NFC AFC fundraiser we were just talking about. I don't know if Grillo, are you on, or I didn't think I saw him.
Frank's on.
Salvage. I didn't see Frank Grillo.
No, I don't see it.
Okay, so just to kind of give everybody a heads up, we've sold out 2 boards. We're on board number 3. They're in like Coach just said, there's about 30 squares left. $50 per square gives you play in 2 different games. You can share the link that was put in the chat with your friends and family. We want to sell out that last board. And if you look at the advertisement that we had paid out, that we'd shown, there's 60% of it is going to be paid out, which is $300 for each of the first 3 quarters and $300 for the final, and then $75 for the reverse. You also can see that there's 20% going to the NDCP athletics, so we get about $1,000 off of each board. And then $1,000 or 20% of it from each board is going towards community kindness, which we'll discuss. We're going to do something to support the service projects that the students have been doing throughout the school. Is really what we're looking at to do with the community kindness.
And numbers for the first two pools have been sent out to all the people that bought squares.
Perfect.
Once the third one's done, we'll pull numbers and get those out.
So hopefully we'll get those sold out tonight. Who knows?
Nice.
That would be nice. Okay, and there will not be a fourth board because we're just getting too close to fill up the boards. So
Right.
3 boards. Okay.
Right.
All right, so this is where we're going to talk about funds requested. And before we get into like any specific requests, Coach wanted to talk over some things that were happening with at the school level. So.
Okay. All right. This the chart that Jessica's put on here is something the coaches have been going over for the last 2 weeks. And I'm presenting this to Coach Bob Beckman, who's in charge of our facilities committee. And we are now tentatively planning to look at a capital campaign and some revisions and a lot of things. And I asked the coaches to put down some big ticket items of things that we would like to look at. As you look at those things, hopefully we didn't miss too much, but these are things that would cost more than a couple $100 or a pool or two that we're having going right now. But these are major factor things that the coaches feel that they would be in the best interest of our athletic program. Right now, they're really in no particular order. I gave these to the coaches and I did ask them to prioritize them by the end of the week, so that Coach Beckman can present them to the facilities committee just on recommendations. Of course, we have to go find a couple of people to help pay for a couple of these things. Some of these are things that we've talked about for a long time. We're hoping that, we talked about doing things big and doing, a lot of things that we could try to do. So these are ideas that we've come up with, and it's up to the committee to see what they can do. And if somewhere in the next handful of years that the capital campaign takes focus and aims at a couple of these things. The field house was something that we had a big dream about years ago. We weren't able to follow through on it. Resurfacing the turf field is something that time-wise probably needs to be done within the next 2 or 3 years. And then there's a sundry of things that have a lot of big zeros after them. But, this is the work that we're doing. I don't know if anybody would have any comments about any of those things, but.
Is the outdoor volleyball court, is that just a sand volleyball court?
That's what Peter kind of talked about. That it would be something that would be for, that would be good for all year round, but I think it was more so a beach type volleyball court. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the Village of Niles to put a couple of volleyball courts in anyway too. So that's a big thing. Hate going all the way to Glenview.
Right. And something like that, obviously wouldn't cost as much as the field house. Right. So as they go through some things, there may be some of these things, looking at renovations of the locker rooms and things like that. There are things that we, I think in the very near future could anticipate to get done, not necessarily with a capital campaign, but that the normal budgetary things could take care of those things. Building a swimming pool might take a couple extra guys who want to write their names on it, but that's what we're looking at. And we want to present those to people because you don't know if you don't ask, and you don't get it if you don't ask. And that's the way we've got to look at some things. I had a great conversation today with the outgoing athletic director at Northwestern, Jim Phillips. Jim is an alumnus of my grade school, and I talked a little bit with him about what he's done at Northwestern. He's given me some other information. I wish he could lend me a couple of those people that helped him build some things, but it was a good start and a great resource that maybe we can use and help us out in the long run.
Very good. All right, the next set is the proposed equipment upgrades, which is something that these are some things that we can probably, help out with.
And some of these are things that, again, we should probably look at. And once we solidify things after the football games and see what we have and talk amongst ourselves and organize some of these things. These are definitely things that we as the club can provide the athletes and make sure that, we're helping as many of the sports out as we can. So there are probably a couple others that could fit in here that got to me a little late that I sent these out. So there are still other ideas coming in, but I wanted to get these out and let you see that we are thinking of trying to, we want to enhance what we're going to do. And we're going to start on the branding of things right away. I've got our lacrosse coach, Andy Notman, on doing some of these things and setting some things up in our locker rooms and in our weight room. And those are easy fixes and things that we can help with, but there are other areas here that we want to look at and discuss and prioritize for ourselves.
Coach, do you have any idea how much all of this would cost?
No, I mean, to be blunt, no. I mean, I could, a basketball shooting gun is, something like $5,000. Wrestling mat, I know, is about $10,000. Soccer goals are probably like $1,500 a piece. There are things that I would have a good idea about. The pole vault system is almost $15,000. But again, those are, whether we wanted to shoot for a couple of big things of which we could take care of based upon the monies that we have now, or, I think that's something that we want to look at.
So we could use our Giving Tuesday money for some of these things if we wanted to. Okay.
That's the idea, because it's gonna, we are asked to use all that by the end of the fiscal year, by the end of June, because then it just rolls out the door. So we worked to get these things, and now we want to be able to put it in motion as to what we feel would be the best things to do.
And are these numerical order, priorities, or?
No,
Okay.
I tried to be alphabetical. I may have screwed up somewhere, but no, I didn't put them in priority order because I didn't want to do that just yet. Again, I think that's in the discussion phase and looking at some things and, just trying to see what we'll get some costs. We'll get some estimates of what they would cost and see how best we can help out the athletic program. Probably can't get it all. And if you do something for 3 or 4 sports this year and 3 or 4 sports next year, then, we're accomplishing the goals that we want.
Yeah, we can put a 3-year plan together for some of this stuff right before our oldest graduate.
Now, that's probably the best thing to do, to look at it in a plan sort of stage. I mean, what we have been doing prior to over the last couple of years, we've maybe have gotten 1 or 2 big things. And when we've given each sport thousands of dollars to help either with rental or supplies, we're not at that point this year because of things that have happened. And realistically, so Karen Cruzea tells me that we are saving money because obviously we're not spending money on officials and buses and a lot of things. So I'm not sure how that's all going to pan out, but I know that we are, our goal has been to do what we can to get money, and we don't have anything that we have to give back to the school this year. So all the money that we have in our account can be used for ourselves.
That's fantastic. At least something good will come out of it.
Want to look at for next month, we'll be looking at how much things cost and putting a proposed plan.
Yeah.
Put out to the group.
Yeah, we'll get some quotes and some things, and I think next meeting would be good. We can talk about that and organize it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put together some kind of proposal for the next 3 years.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And if we, pledge, what we've done for this year, maybe upstairs will give us a little bit more money and match us. Who knows? Wishful thinking.
The money falls from upstairs. I think that's what happens.
All right. Go into a little bit of an update. Oh, one more thing, Coach.
Yeah, we did have one area where I did want to request money. We have a request would come that would for money to go to help our hockey program and their ice rental. We have a contract that we have with the Mount Prospect Ice Rink, and they have not closed. And we've run into some issues and things with the ice, and we've had to sell some ice, and we've had our boys have been on the ice but haven't been on the ice. So I would ask that if we could look at the idea of possibly giving them $4,000 to help with their rental fees for the year. That's what we had given them in the year before to help out, and at this point in time, it would be of great assistance.
All right. I have a motion to
approve, I guess, right?
approve. Yeah.
Yeah, I
If
motion.
there's any discussion,
Is there any discussion, any questions or concerns?
Give the boys the money.
not the boys. No, we got. I wish I was giving it to the boys. Yeah, it goes to the ice rink.
All right.
Okay.
So is it, Frank, are you moving to approve?
Yes.
Any second?
I'll second.
You all approved?
Yep.
Show of hands. Any opposed? Nope. Okay. Motion passed. Thanks, Coach. All right. So let's go to we have a little bit of update from the Dads Club and from Parent Association. So we have both Ann and Mike here. So if we want to go with, we'll go alphabetical order. So we'll go Dads Club and then we'll do parents.
Yeah, that's good. Good evening, everybody. Happy, healthy New Year. From the Dads Club, bowling, everyone should have gotten a blast email. We did push the family bowling night back to March 27th at Bolero and Niles. We just felt from safety standpoint and the way things were going with the virus and the vaccine coming out, we felt it was in the best interest to push that back a month. So that's Saturday, March 27th. The bowling alley still assures us that everything will be safe. They'll follow safety protocols. So again, everybody should have got an email on that, and it'll be Saturday, March 27th. The Dads Club is also going to reschedule their November service project at the Greater Chicago Food Depository. We're going to pick probably March 20th, and I'll know the exact time, February 2nd, because that's when the depository will post the time slots for that day. So we will do a service project in March for the Dads Club, and it'll be both the dads and the students are also able to attend also, and that'll go on helper, so the students can sign up. So as soon as I know the exact time slot for March 20th, we'll put that on helper, and then we'll send out an email to all the families. And then also, the moms and dons should have received a Google form. Today's Wednesday. I think I sent it Monday or yesterday. We are going to plan for the Mother-Son Dance. It will be outside in the school parking lot, and we're looking at Friday, May 21st, with a rain date of Friday, June 4th. So I did send out a Google form with the 5 dance themes, and I did, mention that we are in the planning stage. Again, we have no idea what we are going to be allowed to do when the date comes. So my feeling has always been it's better to plan and then cancel than versus wait and then scramble the plan. So we are going to move ahead and hopefully we'll be able to have that great event. And then from the Parent Association, the next meeting will be February 3rd. Again, the Parent Association will plan a service project. We're still determining what we want to do. We're thinking of having a virtual type of trivia night for the parents, and we're still in the planning stage for that. The faculty and staff are in place of our Christmas party. We had a great trivia night. So basically, we kind of want to play off of that and do the same thing, sponsored by the Parent Association, and have that for one night upcoming either in February or March. But we'll determine that at our next Parent Association meeting. Also, the Dads Club and the Parent Association will have officer positions open after this school year. The Dads Club is looking for both a president and secretary, and the Parent Association is looking for a vice president. So if any parents out there are interested, please email me, and then we'll definitely put your name and you'll be in the running. So again, for the Dads Club, we're looking for both president and secretary, and for the Parent Association, vice president. And that's pretty much it as far as updates on the two associations. And as far as the sports, I'm hoping we play because I'm dying to announce. So I'm just hoping. And that's it.
All right, Ann, do you have anything to add? Are you all done?
Mike, Marianelle is moving on. So is there a need for a secretary for Parents Association?
No, that we have Veronica Toussaint. She'll take over as
great.
secretary.
Perfect. That's good.
And then Heather Davern will move up from vice president to president.
Right.
Very good.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so, oops, sorry, wrong way. We don't really have any new business, do we, Coach?
No, we got enough business going on. I think all we talked about there at the beginning was all new, but we're fine. We got our fingers crossed here.
All right, this is
prayers going.
okay. Any more questions or comments or anything we want to address? If you have any lingering questions from the beginning, this would be a good chance to get your questions answered or addressed a little bit.
Nothing in the chat.
Beautiful. Hopefully
Just a
we
word of
addressed some
thanks
people's concerns.
to the whole team for Giving Tuesday. You guys did a really nice job. And the AFC Squares, and especially to you, Coach Hen, just for keeping everybody going, keeping all, keeping them excited, keeping them coming back. And it's really good to be back at school. So thanks for all the positive reinforcement. We'll all get through this.
Second that one, Coach. Your emails are inspirational to all of us, not just the kids. So, all right. Well, that concludes all of our business. Our next meeting is on February 17th at 7 p.m. You'll get a Zoom link for that as well.
It's my birthday.
Well, happy birthday. We'll sing for you.
Judy can sing.
Oh, yeah. Mike's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Kelly, will you be home by then, though? Are you back home by then?
Oh, my real home?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Oh, that's too bad. Maybe that would be your birthday present. That would be nice.
That would be very nice.
Okay, everybody. It's 7 o'clock, or sorry, it's not 7 o'clock. It's
7:41.
And
Nice job, Jess.
meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, being with us,
Thank
and asking
you.
questions. Your questions are really important to us, making sure that we address all of your concerns. So
Buy
Thank
those
you, everyone.
squares.
buy your
Bye.
squares. Share the link, ndons.org/squares.
Squares.
Okay, I'll buy one.
Have a good Sunday football.
Okay.